Hello everyone, it's your host, your boy, Jep like the one and only, here with another exciting live stream. This is probably going to be the last one for my night. It just hit my birthday, it's like a little after midnight. Actually, it's a lot after midnight, it's pretty much almost 1 a.m. So I'm probably going to hit the hay, maybe read a little bit of my Spider-Man guidebook and then go to bed. But before I do that, I have a spoiler-filled, opinion-based discussion on Detective Comics number 980. So if you haven't read the issue yet yourself, feel free to pick it up at your local comic book store, or after this video is uploaded, I will put a link in the description where you can read the comic online for free if you want to, and then after you read it, you can come back to this video and you'll be able to understand some more of the discussion points. This is not a review, this is not a recap, a dramatic reading, or a summary. This is just my personal opinion as I go over the pros, cons, and notes that I took as I read the issue. Occasionally throughout the issue, I might pour myself a little bit of cranberry juice, and the tartness of the juice can make it where I kind of mess up words sometimes. Also, my mouth moves faster than my head sometimes, so I might also mess up a word due to that. So just keep all that in mind as we jump right in to the pros, then the cons, then the notes. So the art looks great. I like the cover, even though the shadows were weird on purpose. They did this thing where you get to see Batman, Cassandra Cain, and Stephanie Brown, and they're all standing, and a light's being shown on them. But Cassandra Cain and Stephanie Brown aren't wearing cowls, but their shadows have cowls. The reason why they did this is because in this issue, Cassandra Cain and Stephanie Brown learn about their older pre-rebirth continuity where they both end up becoming Batgirls, which is not a thing that happens in the new rebirth continuity, which is interesting. There is a scene of Batwoman descending from the GCPD building that looks like a scene straight out of a Spider-Man comic. It has a modern classic feel. I really dug that. Um, Tim's nanotech bat suit, because Tim is working with Brother Eye. He's essentially trying to prevent an alternate timeline future where Batwoman ends up betraying the Bat family. He has this nanotech bat suit that kind of behaves like Black Panther's armor in the movie, where if you were to hit his armor, it would like absorb the kinetic energy and then he could re-release it. Tim can essentially do that with his nanotech bat armor. It also allows him to touch people and show them visions, which are like simulations of the alternate reality future that he's trying to prevent. Um, let's see. At one point, Brother Eye takes over Azrael and Batwing, and they look dope. They essentially get like a small tweak to their design to show that they're being controlled by Brother Eye, but it looks great. Also, I was really surprised about the Stephanie Brown and Cassandra learning about pre-rebirth continuity thing. I thought that was really cool. Um, Especially what I put as the thumbnail, which is showing Stephanie Brown Robin. She's one of the only like main continuity female Robins. As far as I know, she is the only one because Carrie Kelly is the only other one I can think of, and she's not main continuity. And then there are the We Are Robin girls, but I don't think they count for real. The only We Are Robin person who I think really counts as a official Bat Family person is Duke, who's now the Signal. But those were all my pros for this issue. A lot of my pros were just aesthetic. Like I really liked how a lot of things looked, but I don't think the story itself was really that special. Not a lot of the action really like popped out at me for real. They could have done a lot more. Um, I really like power plays where people flip the script, and there definitely were things like that in this book, but none that really like stood out or made me go, "Oh, that's really cool." I don't feel like a lot of the comedy landed. Not saying this is a comedy-filled book or anything, but there's a scene where Batwoman and Tim have like a little bit of banter, and I like understood the banter. I knew what they were going for, but it just wasn't funny. Like it wasn't like funny enough to elicit a response. Um, so now the cons. The end of the issue was a little lackluster. Stephanie Brown essentially just gives herself a pep talk after hacking into Brother Eye's system. Bernie said comics. Yep, more comics. Don't forget to smash that like button. So I don't know. I felt like the ending could have been a lot better, to be honest. Tim didn't show Batwoman much. Bernie asked, are these real comics? Yes, and there'll be a link in the description below after this video is uploaded where you'll be able to read these comics yourself for free online. Tim didn't show Batwoman much. Like, Tim's like, I'm doing all this Brother Eye stuff because Batwoman's gonna betray the Bat family, and he shows her a vision that's more like a pre-show rather than like the main feature. Like, he shows Batwoman leading soldiers through Batman's Wayne mansion, and as he's leading these soldiers, well, as she is leading these soldiers through the mansion, she leads them to like the grandfather clock that leads into the Batcave. So it's like, yeah, she's gonna lead them to like Batman and all his stuff, but he's showing her the scene with no context. You know what I mean? He's not showing her a scene where she actually, like, you can see her betraying the Bat family. You don't get to see her shoot anybody. You don't get to see her like kidnap anyone. You don't know who's really in the Batcave. So I feel like Tim could have shown her a better memory. He could have shown her something that would have actually like sold to her, oh, I do mess up in the future. Oh, I do need to change something. So I don't know. I thought that was a weak scene that could have had a lot of weight if he had just shown her something else. When it comes to buying comics, I normally like to buy like additional merchandising as my way of support. So I used to buy a whole bunch of like graphic novels and stuff like that, but you can just find it so easily online. So action figures I still kind of like. Like, I have the Spider-Man action figure here, and I buy guidebooks. So when they come out with a brand new guidebook that like breaks down like a character and like their history through comics, not only do I buy these guidebooks, but I read these things cover to cover. I really like absorbing superhero information in this kind of medium. Um, Encyclopedias, I think, really work well for superhero characters and storylines. Yeah, I bought these. I'm probably gonna get more today. Today's my birthday, so we're probably gonna pick up a couple more of these guidebooks. There's a Wonder Woman one, and there's a Batman Arkham, like the game story one, that I'd be interested in getting. The Wonder Woman one, I'm not that interested in. I'm not like a big Wonder Woman guy. Bernie says he has a lot of comics. Cool, that's great. Bernie said happy birthday, and he said love you. Oh, thank you, Bernie. Appreciate it. Um, so I went through the pros, I went through the cons. So the last part are the notes. So this is Age of Ultron mixed with some Terminator, I would say. Age of Ultron and the idea that Batman is the person who created Brother Eye, and Brother Eye is like, oh, you're so short-sighted. In the big grand scheme, you have to go farther, Batman. Da, da, da. And Tim Drake essentially is like, I've learned from the future that I have to kill you, Batwoman, because if I don't, then everything will go haywire. So it's interesting. Bernie said they're old, and he said I was gonna ask if they cost a lot if I sell them, the comics that you have. I'm definitely not the person to ask when it comes to like the value of older comics. I would say get them. They'll put it in a special container to where people can still like see the comic, but it'll be preserved, and they will price it, and then you can sell it for the price that they appraise it for. I've seen comics go for like $9,000. I'll go to like a comic convention where someone will be showing off like an appraised comic that's worth a lot of money, and it's really impressive. Bernie said, damn, I know, right? Some of the local comic book stores in the area have some pretty expensive comics, but none of them are like $9,000. Bernie said, who can I show them to? Um, you should Google comic book appraisal. I believe the way you spell appraisal is APPRAISAL. But if you get your comic book appraised, essentially that's a professional saying your comic is worth this much money. Bernie said, I'm serious. He said, I have a lot of old ones, my like boxes of them. He said, can you type it in the chat? I currently don't have the live chat up. I have the notes up, but I can get the live chat up. It's not like a hassle. But after I type it in the live chat, ooh, I'll have to get off for now. I almost tipped over the cup. Bernie said his grandpa gave them to him. It's definitely worth checking out, like appraising them. Oh, I also highly recommend that once you get the comic appraised, you don't immediately sell it. Because I think you can get it reappraised later, but I'm not sure. That I may be wrong on that. But let's see. Comic book appraisal. I don't know how well the Mortal Kombat ones will sell. Maybe because they're more niche, and they're old, they might sell well. I don't know. Again, I'm not an official in that regard in any way. But I'd like to thank you for watching. If you like this video, make sure to smash that like button. Favorite comment, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns based around this comic. I really like discussing these with you all in the comments. Make sure to smash that subscribe button, ding ding ding, ring that notification bell, and have a wonderful night. I'm logging out for the night. It's kind of late. Probably going to logging out. Cheers. Good night.